And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Homestead-Miami Speedway as we get ready for race number 25 of Season 5 of the Oreo Truck Series. Here tonight, this is the next to last stop before the chase field will be locked and we will know what 12 drivers are going to be battling it out to become Season 5 Oreo Truck Series champion. Tonight, moves are going to be made you might not see made in a normal points-paying race. A lot of desperate moves are going to be made as drivers are going to be trying to make their bids to possibly use next week at Arizona to get themselves into the chase for the championship. We've also gotten word that 2 drivers tonight can clinch themselves spots in the chase already, regardless of where they finish next week at Arizona. Those 2 drivers are the drivers actually come in tied for the points lead, rookie Danica Shirley and 3-time winner this season, Shirley and Gallighan, both of whom have good qualifying spots today. Danica starting in 4th and Shirley and Gallighan starting 2 rows behind in the 8th position. Both those drivers come in with 645 points apiece in a dead even tie for the points lead, and tonight, with a good finish, both those drivers could clinch themselves automatic spots in the chase for the championship. Some drivers that are going to be trying to keep themselves in contention inside of the top 10 tonight that we'll keep an eye on include Alex Tanker, Matthew Rodriguez, Stephen Pollard III, and Dylan Young. We're also going to be keeping an eye and a few drivers who are battling for wildcard positions. Right now, as it's looking, according to the way the points are right now, Christopher Martin would get wildcard spot number 1 as he is 11th in points with 2 wins. And Kyle Sosnowski, our winner from last week at Kentucky, he would be wildcard spot number 2 holder as he is 16th in points after he picked up his second win of the season last week. Maggie Vedarvu, a 2-time winner this season, she's 42nd in points. I think the only way Maggie Vedarvu has an opportunity of maybe getting one of those wildcard spots is if she picks up yet another victory in either this or the race next week at Arizona. Up front, starting this race on the pole is going to be James McLeod. McLeod comes into this race 20th in points. Still mathematically possible for him to get into the top 10 in points, too, and a victory tonight could certainly be a step in the right direction alongside of him. Nicole Williams comes to this race 26th in points. Her chance of making the chase is a little bit slimmer than James McLeod, however, still mathematically eligible to get into the top 10 is the 23. Anthony McCurry comes in this race 28th in points. He is already mathematically eliminated from making the top 10. He's now got to rely on wildcard position. In order to really get that, he'd have to win this race and the race next week at Arizona. And then, of course, the points leader, Danica Shirley, lining up there in the 4th position. Then you got Emilio Navarrete completing the top 5. Navarrete comes in 18th in points. His chances of making the chase still mathematically possible. We'll see if he can get a good run here tonight. Maybe move up somewhere around 12th, 13th in points, and then a good run next week at Arizona could put him inside the top 10 and into the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship. Time to get these trucks rolling off. 27 laps here under the lights at Homestead-Miami Speedway await us, and we're going to see just exactly what these drivers can bring to the table. Who tonight may be able to get themselves inside the top 10 in points? Lots of big names just outside the top 10, including Eric Burton, Sean Henley, John Citadino, Dylan Poteet, and Kyle Sosnowski. We'll see what they can do here tonight under the lights. Here's the starting grid for tonight's Ford 200 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Camping World Truck Series, the Nationwide Series, and the Sprint Cup Series. Homestead-Miami Speedway is always known as the track where the season finale takes place, championship race weekend. Not in this series, though. This series, it leads up to the chase, and we're going to have to see just exactly what this track's going to be able to do here today with these drivers. I believe we normally don't go to Homestead-Miami Speedway very often. I believe this is only the second time these guys have been to Homestead-Miami. We're going to see what they do. Green flag is out. 27 laps of racing here tonight. I think the first and only time we've been to Homestead-Miami Speedway was back in the season finale at Season 1, if I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken in that, but that's the only time I ever remember us being at Homestead. As Anthony McCurry's going to dive down low, he's going to look for the top spot, but Emilio Navarrete shot himself up the middle. Nice move there by the 5. Now look at Danica Shirley and Nicole Williams, 2 rookies there stuck on the high side. Now this track, I'm not exactly sure what the passing line is, but with what Emilio Navarrete did right there, I'd say that middle groove is where a lot of the grip and a lot of the speed is, because he was able to make a pass all the way up to second place from starting 5th. Emilio Navarrete is now in the runner-up position right behind James McLeod. Now here comes Nicole Williams. Let's see if she's going to be able to get by Emilio Navarrete on the inside line. Navarrete trying to hold tough on the outside line. Looks like he's going to get that run off the corner, so again, almost looking like it was at Kentucky last week. The outside line is the line that's getting the momentum for the pass. And take a look at this battle right here. Side by side, Sean Gallighan and Danica Shirley, co-points leaders. They found each other in the exact same spot right now. Shirley on the high side. Gallighan now going to run right behind her in that high groove. As Galligan's keeping pretty close tabs there with the Coca-Cola Chevrolet Silverado out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Meanwhile, there's Dylan Poteet down on the bottom. He's trying to work his way up to the front. There he is. Oh, I just missed him. There he is in the 31. Trying to get himself back into the chase for the championship hunt. As he slipped outside of the top 10 in points, he's currently 15th in the standings. He's got to win this season. Another win could put him possibly into a wild card position, but he wants to make it inside the top 10 in points. There's another driver back there having a good run right now, and one that really I don't think we've talked about all season long very much, and we've really got to give him credit, and that's Dylan Young in the 84. He has done a great job of consecutive runs in the last few weeks. That 84 team has overcome adversity around every turn. He's 6th in the points. Tonight, with a great run, he could lock himself maybe into the chase for the championship too. I mean, he is not going to be able to, like Sean Gallighan and Danica Shirley with good runs tonight, absolutely ensure himself a spot in the chase, but he'd be in pretty good position if he could stay inside the top 15 for tonight and get a nice top 15 run. As there's a battle up front for second place. Anthony McCurry going down to the bottom of Emilio Navarrete. But we've seen how that outside line gets a nice run, and Navarrete, I think, is going to utilize that one more time. I think he's got the 27 cleared, and Navarrete's going to keep position number 2, and now Nicole Williams going to try the low line. These drivers determined to try and get down low working, and it's not apparently paying good dividends for them. Danica Shirley, co-points leader down there, trying to do the same thing as she's trying to go underneath Nick Eggleston. Looked like Gallighan behind Dylan Poteet there was trying to get the low line working too. Whoa, almost some contact there. There was some contact between Jake Rogers and Nick Eggleston. So wonder those two didn't spin out. That was really, really close, and Danica Shirley could have easily been caught up in that. So here comes Tryphon Reed, or make that Derek Reed rather, in the 6th. He's trying to go low on Danica Shirley. Gallighan right there. You notice Galligan's keeping within striking distance of Danica Shirley, not letting that 3 truck out of his sight. Few guys there at the back that we were talking about at the beginning of this program that really needed good runs to get back inside the top 10 points. One of them is John Cittadino. He is way back here, not running well. His teammate Alex Tanker not doing much better. There's Matthew Rodriguez, Kyle Sosnowski, a lot of the front runners. Christopher Martin back here as well. Quite a few drivers not having good starts here early on tonight at Homestead-Miami. Some of them inside the top 10, some of them just outside the top 10 looking in. We've noticed where Cittadino, Poteet, Christopher Martin, where they are. How about Sean Henley in the 43? Trying to make his 2nd straight chase for the championship in the Truck Series. There he is, currently in the 22nd position, just ahead of Luke Walker, 7th in points, who is currently running in the 23rd position. There's another car back here that's actually just inside the top 10 in points. That's Chris Dollerton. He currently is in the 9th position in points, and he's 26th on the track. And right behind him, another driver who's doing well in points, trying to set a historical mark by making his 5th straight Oreo Truck Series chase for the championship. That's Adam Chambers. He's 8th in points and currently 27th on track, so he definitely needs a good run tonight to get himself back up around the middle of the top 10 in points, so that way he can ensure himself a chance of getting into the chase come what may next week at Arizona. There's another driver. Boy, a lot of these drivers that are doing well in points not doing well here tonight. Stephen Pollard the third, 5th in points, 3rd in rookie points. Now battling side by side with fellow rookie Carter Keselowski. He's back just inside the top 30. I think he's currently in the 31st position now. And here comes Matthew Rodriguez down to his inside line there. Matthew Rodriguez, 2-time winner of the season, 4th in points. The only name I don't think we've talked about tonight that is missing from the top 15 is Eric Burton. Let's see where the 33 currently is. He's up here behind Margaret Mason, having a pretty stellar run in the 13th position. So Eric Burton tonight. If those other guys back there like Chambers, Dollerton, Christopher Martin, if they don't step it up and get better finish tonight and start picking up positions, Eric Burton could find himself back inside the top 10 in points. And Eric Burton, as I recall, last season ended up making the chase for the championship when he drove the 9 in the Oreo Truck Series. So he's having a good run tonight. To go back up front here. And James McLeod has lost the lead. Emilio Navarrete is now the new leader. Anthony McCurry moves to 2nd. I don't know how they got around McLeod, but they did somehow, and James McLeod has fallen from 1st back to 3rd place now. Now trying to get himself back up there to the front as he's all over the back bumper of the Quaker State Chevrolet. It's actually Quaker State Chevy's 1-2 out of 2 different teams. The 5, of course, out of Hendrick Motorsports. The 27 out of RCR, but Quaker State looking pretty doggone good tonight. So they're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Well, nope. Looks like Navarrete's going to clear McCurry there. And now it'll just be McLeod and Anthony McCurry to settle it out for the 2nd position. We are now halfway through this race. Take a look at Nick Eggleston there in the 98 car. He comes in that very critical 10th place in the points. Currently inside the top 5. Very nice run for the 98. This is what he needs tonight too, because I'll tell you, probably out of all the drivers in the standings every week is the driver who comes in 10th place who feels the most pressure, because he knows one little slip up, he'll be outside the top 10 in points just like that. So Nick Eggleston really quelling that pressure here tonight, doing a great job currently in that 5th position. And you think that battle for the points lead has died down at all? No such luck. Danica Shirley only 2 positions ahead right now of Sean Gallighan, the 31 of Dylan Poteet, the only driver between the 2 of them. As Galligan's now going to dive to the high side of Poteet. He's looking for position there. He may get back up alongside of the 3 fairly soon here. Well, actually looks like Margaret Mason may actually get the inside line working as she's going underneath the Gallighan. Gallighan was trying to get the run on Poteet. Just couldn't do it. And McCurry has lost 2nd place to McLeod now, so McLeod was able to make the pass for the runner-up spot. He's now all over the back bumper of Navarrete. He wants the lead back. McLeod trying to pick up his first Truck Series win of the season. Emilio Navarrete actually trying to do the exact same. Same for McCurry, same for Rogers, and same for Derek Reed. First winner this season is Nick Eggleston back there, currently in 6th place as he's trying to go underneath Derek Reed for the 5th place. Coming down, we've got 10 laps to go here. We have yet to have a caution flag. They've kept it pretty clean and green. Some good hard racing here under the lights at Homestead. Always nice to see that. It's always a shame to see wrecked race cars. And it's actually quite surprising to me as well. I would have thought with the chase as close as it is, with this being the next to last regular season race, that we'd see a lot of turning of drivers for, positions here and there, and it's not the case here tonight. These drivers have been racing hard, but they've been racing clean. Maybe they're a little too nervous to go racing that aggressively, knowing just what's on the line. Maybe they'll take out all their aggressiveness next week at Arizona. Emilio Navarrete, though, nice run tonight for that 5 team. Hendrick Motorsports is finally starting to get their program going. Aaron Williams Jr. ended up picking up the Snickers Cup Series win at Kentucky last week. Christopher Martin's a 2-time winner here in the Truck Series in that 48. So Hendrick's finally starting to get their program going here, and Navarrete's showing it off here tonight. We can easily say James McLeod and Anthony McCurry, they've been the 3 fastest cars of the night, and right now those 3 are running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I think it could come down between those 3 for the finish of this race. Jake Rogers, he's steadily been staying inside the top 5 all night, but he really hasn't made any kind of a bid to get inside the top 3. I don't know if he's just hanging back, biding his time, or what, but here he comes, he's diving down to the bottom. He tried going 3 wide as Anthony McCurry tried going under McLeod, but they remained single file behind the Quaker State Chevy of Emilio Navarrete. Here comes McLeod. Let's see if he can get the inside line working. James McLeod to the bottom. Let's see if he can finally make a pass down low and try and go back to the lead. Navarrete trying to hang tough on the high side, but this time at the line, the advantage goes to McLeod by half a car length. He may actually be able to do it. I think he's got him cleared. He has. Oh, whoop, they slipped up though. Navarrete trying to come back on the high side. Can McLeod clear him off turn 2? He's going to try and slide up in front of him. Navarrete's still there. Now McLeod has cleared him. James McLeod to the lead. Once again at Homestead, but now he slips up in the corner. I think he got the air taken off the back of his 30. Anthony McCurry now comes low with help from Jake Rogers. All of a sudden, we're starting to see the inside line kick in here at Homestead. And oh man, McLeod slides up. So did McCurry. Rogers nearly thought about going 3 wide. As they are dead even going down the back straightaway. Little bit of advantage to the high side and James McLeod. But McCurry going to dive bomb it into 3. Can he clear the 30? Here comes Rogers trying that inside line once again. 3 wide for the lead. And McCurry's going to lead this lap. But there's still 3 wide. McLeod, McCurry, Rogers. Oh, they bounce off each other. McCurry and McLeod make contact. And McLeod slides way up the racetrack. He's going to lose some valuable positions because of that. And now Navarrete is up into second place right behind McCurry. Looking for the top spot as Anthony McCurry takes the lead for the first time here tonight. It's still Quaker State up in front. McCurry and Navarrete. Now Jake Rogers underneath McLeod. That may have taken McLeod out of the picture for the win here tonight, as they're going to go side by side behind them for the points lead again. Sean Gallighan is back up there with the 3 of Danica Shirley. Oh, it looks like Danica actually was able to clear Dylan Poteet now. Galligan's left side by side with Dom Capps. He now clears him. So those two, they're still right within each other's grasp, as they are dead even coming into tonight's race atop the point standings. Danica may just be able to edge Gallighan, but Galligan's trying to get something going here, as we've got 2 laps to go. Right now, it's all Anthony McCurry, then Navarrete, McLeod, Rogers, and then a battle for 5th between Derek Reed. I'm going to keep saying Tryfon tonight. Derek Reed and Nicole Williams, 2 rookies there. Quite a move by Anthony McCurry. He and McLeod nearly wrecked while battling for the lead with Jake Rogers 3 wide. White flag in the air. Battle on for second. McLeod to the inside of Emilio Navarrete. 3 wide comes Jake Rogers. That may be just what McCurry needed, was to have the pressure taken off of him by them battling for the runner-up spot. Down the back straightaway, Anthony McCurry. He's not been to victory lane since Phoenix of last year in the Truck Series. That was race number 2. It's been a long time since McCurry's been to victory lane. Looks like tonight it will finally happen. Out of turn 4 for the final time. Anthony McCurry's going to pick up his first win of the season. McCurry wins the Ford 200 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And Quaker State, what a night for their sponsorship. Both their rides finish in 1st and 2nd here at Homestead. What a great win there for Anthony McCurry and the RCR team. We told you McCurry comes into this race 28th in points, mathematically ineligible from making the top 10 in the standings. His only chance of making the chase was to possibly win tonight's race and the Arizona race. He's already completed step 1 of that process by taking the checkers here tonight. Anthony McCurry may be making a late season bid to get into the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship. As always, we'll show you your top 10 finishing results, as nobody DNF'd from tonight's race. A nice clean race, the full 27 laps. McCurry wins. Emilio Navarrete going to come away with 2nd. That's going to pay out big dividends for Navarrete, who came in 18th in points. It'll be interesting to see where he's going to be heading into next week at Arizona. Does he have an opportunity to get inside the top 10 in points after next week's race? James McLeod, same deal for him, 20th in points. Where's this 3rd place finish going to put him? Jake Rogers going to get 4th. Nicole Williams, great run in 5th. How about Derek Reed? Great run for the 6th and 6th place. Nick Eggleston, he'll stay inside the top 10 here tonight after a 7th place run. Danica Shirley, she is going to be the points leader by 2 points over Sean Gallighan, as she gets 8th. Dylan Poteet, he may be back inside the top 10 in points after tonight with 9th place finish. And Sean Gallighan going to finish in 10th place just 2 positions behind Danica Shirley, which means 2 points Danica Shirley will have over Sean Gallighan heading in to the regular season finale at Arizona next week. So, we had ourselves a pretty good battle there for the points lead on track all night long. Danica Shirley comes out on top by a few measly points. A few drivers may move inside the top 10 in points. A few drivers might fall outside the top 10 in points. We're going to have to take a look here at the official point standings and see just exactly who still is eligible to be able to make the chase next week at Arizona. But we're not done with Homestead-Miami Speedway by any stretch of the imagination. We still got a Mo1 Cup Series race and a Snickers Cup Series race coming your way. Hope you'll tune in for those. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race. Congratulations to Anthony McCurry on his first win of the season here tonight at Homestead. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. Here comes your official finisher results, overall point standings, rookie point standings, heading into our final race of the regular season next week at Arizona. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.